evening. My name is Teal Burnett, and on behalf of Southern Illinois University School of Pharmacy, it is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to our 17th White Coat ceremony. I'm a third-year pharmacy student, the president of the class of 2023, and I serve as the president of the Student Representative Council. The White Coat ceremony conveys the school's commitment to professionalism, respect, integrity, and caring, hallmarks of the pharmacy profession. It also underscores the students' commitment to provide pharmaceutical care and to assure the safe and effective use of medication for the benefit of the patient and society. This ceremony marks the transition from students to student pharmacists. Over the next 4 years, you will most likely run into your share of challenges, but if you're sitting in this room, I can assure you that you are capable of overcoming them. From my experience, the challenges that we face only make the successes that we achieve mean so much more. I urge every one of you to embrace these challenges as they are presented to you. By now, you've heard of all the best opportunities to get involved through our School of Pharmacy. Our faculty does a tremendous job of preparing all of us for the future through our learning inside the classroom. However, there are many ways to get involved outside of the classroom. Organizations and leaders are not urging you to get involved just to increase their membership. They are encouraging you because getting involved outside the classroom can truly enhance your skills and learning. They want to share these valuable experiences with you. The lessons that I've learned outside the classroom have truly made me a better prepared and more passionate student pharmacist. As first-year pharmacy students, you may feel like you cannot make a strong impact in your communities yet, but that is not further from the truth. I want you to all remember your impact has already started from the day you walked into the School of Pharmacy doors. You can all make a difference in the community and in the profession starting right now. I challenge each of you to find a way to get involved, even if it's something small. On behalf of my classmates, the Student Representative Council, and myself, we would like to congratulate you on this prestigious achievement and welcome you to the SIUE School of Pharmacy family. Our Master of Ceremonies for tonight is Dr. Jessica Kerr. Dr. Kerr is the Associate Dean for Professional and Student Affairs. Dr. Kerr came to SIUE in 2005 and was part of the initial faculty cohort of the SIUE School of Pharmacy. She is a native of Belleville, Illinois, and is a professor in the Department of Pharmacy Practice. Dr. Kerr earned her BS in Pharmacy and PharmD degree from St. Louis College of Pharmacy. She completed a primary care residency with Texas Tech and the Amarillo Veterans Affairs Medical Center. Prior to coming to the SIUE School of Pharmacy, she served on the faculties at the University of South Carolina College of Pharmacy and Texas Tech University Health Services Center School of Pharmacy. Dr. Kerr.
Good evening. Before we begin our ceremony, I would like to welcome our guests who are joining us virtually. Because of acoustics in the room, I would like to ask the in-person audience to kind of limit background noise for the enjoyment of our online audience. I have the honor of introducing our platform party. When I call each of your names, if you would please stand and be recognized. Audience, if you would please hold your applause until I have introduced the entire platform party, that would be appreciated. Teal Burnett, President of SRC, Dr. Mark Ward, Dean of the School of Pharmacy, Dr. Cody Sandusky, your keynote speaker tonight, Dr. Jeannie Mann, Assistant Dean for Academic Affairs and Clinical Associate Professor in the Department of Pharmacy Practice and Co-Advisor of the Class of 2025, and Dr. Keith Hecht, Associate Professor in the Department of Pharmacy Practice and the Co-Advisor of the Class of 2025. I would like to take this time to express my most sincere thanks to the many staff members and asset student ambassadors that made this event come together. Many of you know Jeannie Mann, who is the Office Manager for the Office of Professional and Student Affairs. One of the small parts of her job is to coordinate the events within the school. This task is not small by any means, but rather complex concepts that she puts together very beautifully. So she works with many campus units and other faculty members and staff to organize these momentous events. I would like, at some point of the night or even next week when you guys see Denise, make sure that you thank her for all of her efforts. I would also like to thank Eugene Barclay and Shane Taylor in the Dean's Office, who work with alumni and other stakeholders who value our mission of the school and university and also donated to support students to the White Coat sponsor. I would now like to introduce Mark Brewer, Dean of the School of Pharmacy. Dr. Brewer is a native of St. Louis, Missouri, and is a professor in the Department of Pharmacy Practice and a fellow of the American College of Clinical Pharmacy. Dr. Brewer came to SIUE in 2004 and was the first chairperson for the Department of Pharmacy Practice. Prior to coming to SIUE School of Pharmacy, he served on faculties at the University of Illinois Chicago College of Pharmacy and the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences College of Pharmacy. Dr. Brewer earned his bachelor's in pharmacy and his doctorate of pharmacy from St. Louis College of Pharmacy. He completed a clinical pharmacy residency and a critical care specialty residency, in addition to a neuroscience fellowship at the University of Kentucky Medical Center. After serving as the interim dean for a year, Dr. Brewer was appointed to the dean, or as the dean for the School of Pharmacy in 2019. At this time, Dr. Brewer.
Welcome to the SIUE School of Pharmacy and our 17th White Coat ceremony. To begin, I'd like to introduce some important guests who may be joining us this evening, and I ask if there are members of these groups to please stand and be recognized. I'd like to ask any members of the School of Pharmacy Advisory Board to please stand. I'd also like to ask any alumni of the SIUE School of Pharmacy to please stand. Thank you for taking the time to attend this celebration of our incoming students. Now, in addition to our distinguished guests, we have our associate deans, department chairs, and numerous faculty and staff members joining us also. With the following, please stand. Dr. Jessica Kerr, Associate Dean for Professional Student Affairs. Dr. Jeannie Mann, Assistant Dean for Academic Affairs. Dr. Mike Kreider, Chair of the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Associate Dean for Research. And Dr. Mark Russell, Chair of the Department of Pharmacy Practice. Now I'd like to ask all School of Pharmacy staff to please rise. And then seated to my right is perhaps the second most important group in attendance here tonight. Of course, the most important group being our students. But without our dedicated faculty, not much will be accomplished in the School of Pharmacy. So faculty, please stand. We'd also like to recognize Dr. Wim Kwan, who's serving as the marshal for our students who escort the class of 2025 in Ballroom. Thank you very much. I'd like to say a few words specifically to the members of the class of 2025. The White Coat ceremony is a wonderful and meaningful tradition where we welcome you to the profession. You should be proud of both your accomplishments to date and your mission in the pharmacy program. However, you're not just students in the SOP Doctor of Pharmacy program, you're now student pharmacists. That change in title brings with it tremendous responsibility to appropriately prepare yourself to serve both your patients and your profession. Today's ceremony symbolizes passage into the first phase of the lifelong educational process that you will need as a pharmacist. Advances in medicine will dictate that you repeatedly hit that refresh button on your knowledge base. Fortunately, your time in the school will not just prepare you to become a licensed pharmacist in 2025, but it will also ready you for the self-regulation and learning that will be required over the subsequent decades. The white coat you wear is a symbol of professionalism and represents your commitment to excellence in providing quality and compassionate patient care. This endeavor is not to be taken lightly. And to be successful, I encourage you to take your studies seriously, conduct yourselves professionally, and get your priorities in order. Accept now that none of us is perfect. However, that does not mean that you should resign yourself to something less. While you will never know everything that the pharmaceutical world will have to offer, the truth is that with hard work, perseverance, a willingness to seek help, a desire to find answers, and a commitment to your own success, there are no limits as to what you can achieve. At SIUE and the School of Pharmacy, we are doing great things, and I know that you will contribute to and help shape our future. Please understand that you're joining a very talented group of faculty, staff, and preceptors who are committed to you and your professional success. But to be attainable, that commitment must come full circle. You must bring your A game every day. And I ask that you be passionate and commit yourself to doing your very best. Through your actions, you will soon be writing yourselves into the stories of others' lives. Think about that statement for a minute. You will be intentionally inserting yourself into another person's life, and not just the way you fill a prescription, find a medication or dosing error, administer an immunization, teach someone to monitor glucose, use an inhaler, or so on. To each patient, your contributions may very well be the difference between a poor outcome and their well-being. Life is precious. Take pride in your work and do not lose sight of the importance of your efforts. Finally, it may sound funny to say at this time, but the truth is, it's really not about the white coat. No, instead, it's all about the person inside. Compassion, discipline, and selflessness will need to integrate with your growing intellect to make you an effective pharmacist. Those qualities are also the same ones that make you uniquely you. As a member of the SIUE School of Pharmacy, you will not only represent yourself, but the university and the profession as a whole. Wear that coat proudly and embrace this wonderful profession of pharmacy along with all that it has to offer. Good luck to each of you. Achieve your potential and be a difference maker in someone else's life. Thank you. It's now my honor to introduce Dr. Cody Sandusky. Dr. Sandusky is an alumnus of the SIUE School of Pharmacy. He is the current president of the Illinois Pharmacists Association, often referred to as IPHA, and director of pharmacy at Harrisburg Medical Center in Harrisburg, Illinois. In addition to his role with IPHA, Dr. Sandusky represents Illinois in the American Pharmacists Association House of Delegates. He serves as vice chair of the Harrisburg Medical Center Foundation Board of Directors and on the Shawnee Tourism Collaboration Task Force. He is the past president of the SIUE Alumni Association Board of Directors, SIUE's Pharmacy Advisory Board, and the Illinois Pharmacists Association Foundation Board of Directors. Dr. Sandusky's career has spanned multiple arenas of pharmacy, including chain and independent pharmacy, pharmaceutical industry consulting, and now health systems pharmacy. He has been a featured guest speaker for the American Pharmacists Association, collaborated in the development of guidance statements for the American Society of Health Systems Pharmacists, and has been recognized by the APHA for excellence in COVID-19 vaccine education and promotion. Please welcome Dr. Cody Sandusky.
Good evening. Thank you, Jeannie, for your kind introduction, and thank you for inviting me to be here with you all this evening. I'm honored to offer the keynote address for the SIUE School of Pharmacy, Class of 2025 White Coat Ceremony. And it just dawned on me, this is the 17th White Coat Ceremony, and I attended the 4th, so I'm feeling a little bit old tonight. First off, before we really get into this, I'd like to personally acknowledge some very kind people that are in the audience tonight. The old saying goes that it takes a village to raise a child, and the same goes for pharmacy students. Students, let me tell you right now, you're not only in good hands, but you're in the very best hands. Because without a doubt, I'll say that the faculty and staff at SIUE raised me right, and they're going to do the very same for you. So, can we all show some appreciation again for our faculty? Now, there's another group here that you're going to meet in the coming years, and I know if it wasn't for the love and support of my family and friends and all those people that are here to see you tonight, my years in pharmacy school would have been next to impossible. They're going to be there to support you. They're going to be there to offer you a shoulder to lean on, an ear to vent to, and occasionally a wallet to dip into. So let's show them some appreciation as well. All right, and lastly, I think we need to get this right out of the gate. Students, you've made it into one of the top pharmacy education programs in the country. You've worked hard to get here, and you deserve the recognition for that. So go ahead and give yourselves a round of applause. You guys can act a little more excited about this. You've got me for 20 minutes, so we might as well get to know each other. So tonight is a momentous occasion, and as I've already said, I really am honored to be here with you. I was a little bit surprised when Dr. Kerr called me and she asked me to do this evening. And under most circumstances, I would have probably hesitated, but it was Dr. Kerr, and we go way back, and even though she used to play tricks on me when I was on her rotation, as she confirmed last night via text, I couldn't say no to her. So after I agreed to come speak with you, I spent several days trying to think of something meaningful to share. It's really dark times, really challenging times. So what was it that I could share with you tonight? Something with a new generation of SIUE student pharmacists. I don't say this often, and Dr. Heck will probably laugh when I say it, but I was at a loss for words. And that doesn't happen very often. So I decided to step back for a moment, and I started to look at the very beginning. And actually took a moment to look up what is a keynote. I knew what a keynote was, but where did that term come from? And it turns out it actually comes from music. And that's something that I know a little bit about, so it kind of helped jostle some inspiration. So the term keynote stems from the term used for a cappella singers. It's the note that they begin singing. It's what helps to guide their tone through a song. It helps to give that kind of overarching guidance for the whole piece. So likewise, a keynote address is meant to set the overarching tone for an event such as this. So my hope for you is that something you hear this evening, even if it's just a snippet of what I have to say, is going to help set the tone and help guide you throughout your years of pharmacy school and into your future careers. I suppose it's best if I give a little bit of my background and how I came to be where I am. I grew up in an old coal mining town in southeastern Illinois, not far from where Dr. Lynch and Dr. Kreider grew up. It's kind of close to the Indiana-Kentucky border, and it's kind of forgotten now, but that's where I'm from, and we made the best of it. And I was one of those rare kids that somehow always knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. My friends and I used to hang out at the local drugstore, and it was there that my interest in pharmacy was first piqued, and that interest soon became a desire. And then I began looking into pharmacy colleges around my freshman year of high school, and eventually I knew what I needed to do to get into school, set my mind to it, and eventually was accepted into the 4th class here at SIUE. Those 4 years were some of the best years of my life. After graduating, my career kind of zigzagged from working in pharmacy chains to doing some consulting in the pharma industry. I ended up helping manage my cousin's independent pharmacy, which is completely different from anything else. And now I find myself in the world of hospital pharmacy. I started that endeavor 6 months before COVID. So what a rude awakening that was. And now I find myself here speaking to the next generation of SIUE pharmacists. Thinking back on my own journey, it really wasn't that long ago that I was in your position, sitting there in my new white coat, surrounded by my new classmates and faculty, smiling back at my family for a picture, feeling on top of the world. It was one of the proudest moments of my young life. That first white coat meant so much to me. Like so many other things, my parents sacrificed their own opportunities to receive a formal education in order to work hard and provide me with the best life they could. So to me, that white coat was kind of a symbol of appreciation for all the sacrifices they had made. Personally, I felt it was the culmination of many hours I spent studying and preparing all those years to get into pharmacy school and fulfill that dream. And most importantly, it represented a new chapter in life, one that was going to lead towards a bright future. I know some of you can probably relate to some of those very same feelings. You should be proud of yourselves. You've worked hard and you've earned this moment. And I hope that tonight is just as memorable and meaningful for you as it was for me years ago. It's important to remember, though, that what we celebrate tonight is a beginning. It's not an end. It's a kickoff party to celebrate your first milestone along what is hopefully a long and prosperous journey through the world of pharmacy. So I thought it might be helpful to share some pieces of advice that have helped guide me through pharmacy school and my career. And I hope something here tonight resonates with you. We were kind of talking about this earlier. Anyone that's ever had the opportunity and privilege to wear a white coat can attest to this. Unless you take really, really good care of them, those white coats will not keep that crisp white appearance for very long. It won't take long before you notice a little wear and tear there on the sleeves. The bottom of that breast pocket is going to get filled with ink stains, and eventually it's going to start to look a little dingy from the coffee stains down the front. I guarantee you won't notice all the wrinkles on the backside. It's the truth. The same applies for us as student pharmacists and pharmacists. My first piece of advice is simply this: take good care of yourself, both mentally and physically. If we don't take care of ourselves and work to better ourselves, we can quickly and easily begin to tear down, burn out, and underperform. It's tempting to pull those all-nighters as students, but get the adequate sleep you need to recharge your brains each and every day, and remember to take a little time for something non-study related, later in life, non-work related. You will be surprised at the profound impact that will make on your overall well-being. My next piece of advice is a big one, and one that I would adopt very early on. Expect the unexpected and roll with the punches. Thinking of this brings to mind statements by two completely different world leaders, one a Roman emperor and the other a British prime minister. I have leaned very heavily on both of their wisdom in the last year, and I think that what they have to say resonates on many levels still to this day. Marcus Aurelius is quoted as saying, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." I've been reminded of this over and over and over throughout the COVID pandemic. Most days, things simply have not gone according to plan. But when patients are suffering and dying in your hospital, there simply is not time to sit and grovel. You just have to deal with it. Similarly, you're entering into a very rigorous educational program. Pharmacy school isn't going to be easy, and sometimes it's going to feel a bit overwhelming. Accept that now, and that's okay. It's something that should be expected. Whatever the situation might be, take a step back, take a deep breath, and then find a way to tackle it head on. Similarly, when things don't go as expected, it's easy to feel a sense of failure. That's just human nature. I can still remember the first quiz I did really poorly on, as did everyone else in my class. As a student, it always made good grades. It crushed me. It was something I didn't expect, it was something I had never experienced, and I didn't know how to react to it other than feeling like a complete and utter failure. Looking back, though, failing a quiz really wasn't the end of the world, though, was it? Of course not. Not once in an interview have I ever been asked about the quiz I failed in Dr. McPherson's class. And I hate that Tim is not here tonight to relive that memory for me. Winston Churchill stated, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm." Remember that. No matter what, keep pressing on. Don't be afraid to ask for help from time to time, but whatever you do, don't ever believe that one failure is the end of it all. One of my favorite songs, written by Lennon and McCartney and later brilliantly covered by John Belushi, says, "I get by with a little help from my friends." And how true that is. My strongest suit isn't any knowledge or skills I possess, but rather the people I've surrounded myself with through the years. A lot of them are sitting on stage with me and in this crowd tonight. One of the most important things you can do professionally is to develop a diverse network of colleagues and connections. Notice the key word there was diverse network of connections. Whether I'm dealing with something clinically related, dealing with something regulatory, or even just finding an event or someone to lean on, I usually have a go-to person I can call on when I need help or advice. Now, that network didn't develop overnight, and in fact, it started when I was in your position as a P1. Start by building close relationships with your classmates. I'm sure most of you have maybe met Dr. Sheely or will meet Dr. Sheely. We were classmates, and he's one of my best friends. I've probably driven him nuts in the last year texting him questions. That's a perfect example of this. Start branching out and start to get to know your faculty members and preceptors. Before you know it, those connections are going to start coming together, and you're going to start to notice a snowball effect. You'll hear people mention from time to time that pharmacy is a very small world, and that is so incredibly true. Perhaps one of the best ways to begin building your network beyond your peers here at SIUE and out into that little world is through the professional organizations, which I'm sure most of you have become acquainted with. Organizations such as the APHA, the ASHP, or IPHA, which I'm a little partial to. I suggest joining one of your local student chapters here at SIUE, and when opportunities to attend the larger events at the parent organizations come up, definitely seize those opportunities. One of the best decisions I ever made as a student was to attend the Illinois Pharmacists Association Legislative Day, my very first year at pharmacy school. It was a fun day, and it was very memorable, but what was even more important was that it set off a chain of events that eventually led me to becoming involved with IPHA. I soon found myself on committees, and then I somehow got roped into being on the board of directors, and now here I am, the first SIUE alumnus as president of IPHA. Organizations such as IPHA also offer many tremendous resources to keep you abreast of the current clinical, regulatory, and scientific advancements, and they serve as your collective voices in Springfield and Washington. Still yet, I find that these organizations are truly, and their people are their greatest assets. I consider many of them my closest colleagues and friends. The last piece of advice I want to leave you with, it might sound a little strange at first, but it's one that will make more and more sense as you go throughout your career. Start now, your B1 year, to develop your pharmacy practice philosophy. That sounds a little complicated, but hopefully it'll make a little more sense. I'm not suggesting that you decide right now that what you're going to do with your career, but rather how you would like to spend your career. This isn't something that I can teach you, or anyone for that matter, but I will give you some thoughts and some questions to ponder as you leave here. Maybe it'll spark a thought and get that process going within you. George Bernard Shaw said there are three kinds of people: those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that wonder what happened. Former Dean Gutschep loved to quote that. So which is it going to be for you as a pharmacist? Will you be an advocate for your patients and go that extra mile to ensure that they receive the proper care they need? Or are they just going to be another batch of prescriptions in the queue waiting to be filled? Will you hide behind your computer screens day in and day out? Or are you going to stay present, visual, and actively involved in your profession? Will you be satisfied with the status quo? Or will you be an agent of change and innovation? And as you ponder these questions, remember that every time you put on your whiteboard, you will represent everyone who came before you and that continued line of one of America's oldest and most trusted professionals. Decide what your pharmacy practice philosophy is going to be now, and let that philosophy help mold you into the best pharmacist you can be for yourself, for your patients, and for your profession. And if you're having trouble figuring out where to begin at developing that philosophy, there's a brick in the medicinal garden on campus with Dr. Lynch's name on it. And it contains the first critical step in the process. I suggest you all take a visit to the garden and find out what that brick says. I have just a few closing remarks before we proceed with the rest of this evening. And these are a bit more on a personal level. We can all agree that the COVID pandemic has brought on many challenges and changes. And for me personally, my tenure as IPHA president has looked quite a bit different than usual. I was sworn in early in the morning, no big banquet, no family, just 8 friends close by. I never attended a board meeting in person. Whereas many of my predecessors had the privilege of traveling to the different schools of pharmacy and getting to meet and know the next generation of student pharmacists, I didn't have that opportunity until now. With only 1 month left in my term, you are the first and possibly the only group of students that I'll have had the opportunity and the privilege to officially address as president. So, if I'm only going to get to do this once, I just want to say I'm glad it's with the SIUE School of Pharmacy. So with all that said, on behalf of all the SIUE School of Pharmacy alumni that have come before you, and on behalf of the members and staff of the Illinois Pharmacists Association, it is my distinguished honor and privilege to congratulate you, the SIUE School of Pharmacy Class of 2025, on receiving your white coats and cordially welcome you into our profession. I wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors. Thank you and Godspeed.
Thank you, Dean Kerr and Dr. Sandusky for those thoughtful remarks. I now have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Jeannie Mann and Dr. Keith Hecht, who will serve as your faculty advisors for the next 4 years. Dr. Jeannie Mann is the Assistant Dean of Academic Affairs and a clinical associate professor in the Department of Pharmacy Practice. Prior to joining SIUE School of Pharmacy, she served as an associate professor in pharmacy practice at the University of Southern Nevada College of Pharmacy. Dr. Mann has received her Doctor of Pharmacy from the University of Chicago's College of Pharmacy and subsequently completed her pharmacy practice residency at the University of Kentucky, where she obtained a certificate in scholarship of teaching and learning. Dr. Mann is interested in various areas of pharmacy practice, including cardiology and critical care. Her research of interest include innovative teaching methods, using technology in the classroom, and performance-based assessment. Dr. Hecht is an associate professor in the Department of Pharmacy Practice. He received his bachelor's and doctor of pharmacy from St. Louis College of Pharmacy and completed a general pharmacy practice residency and went on to complete an oncology specialty residency at the University of Kentucky Chandler Medical Center. He has been board certified in oncology as a oncology pharmacy specialist since 2004. And in addition to his faculty appointment at SIUE, Dr. Hecht also provides clinical services in the inpatient oncology department at Mercy Hospital, St. Louis. He has dedicated his teaching to training future pharmacists who can provide care for oncology patients in a variety of settings and environments. Dr. Hecht is interested in various areas of oncology pharmacy practice, including supportive care, patient education, and optimizing patient adherence with oncology medications, as well as innovative teaching methods in pharmacy education. At this time, would Dr. Mann and Dr. Hecht come to the podium so we can announce our class of 2025.
Elizabeth Alders. Yamate Asante. Kaylin Boutin. Dan Butler. Gregory Bauer. Rachel Bradley. Lauren Broden. Trent Buckman. Emma Cherry. Jason Cole. Brianne Dowdy. Samantha Despenese. Samantha Fottery. Derek Feldman. Natalie Frenzel. Emily Gauthier. Kenneth Gibson. Madison Hofstad. Cheyenne Hall. Paige Hall. Sydney Hatcher. Darby Haas. Marissa Hubler. Jesse Eismogel. Matthew Jacob. Rachel Jansen. Seth Kelly. Kristen Kennedy. Luke Kleinfelter. Anna Knagle. Emma Kovach. Abigail Reed. Anna Kreinert. Noah Landers. Camilla Lee. Jack Livingston.
Zachary McNeely. Layla Omishevich. Anna Mills. Abigail Molinoff. Brianna Moore. Rita Orland. Seth Meepater. Alan Nogan. Brooklyn Wanguma. Umi Patel. Deanne File. Amila Filipovich. Kaylee Pirok. Morgan Rankins. Morgan Rauscher. Rachel Ray. Emily Roach. Caitlin Rogers. Brooklyn Romo. Shayla Rose. Abigail Schmidt. Katie Schragi. Jesse Schreiber. Hannah Schulmeister. Richard Schultz. Braden Shirley. Logan Sink. Zach Sowers. Abigail Span. Paige Summers. Lene Thomas. Caitlin Thompson. Samara Taraski. Travis Will. Hannah Wood. Dylan Younger. Nicole Zachbea. And Laura Taylor.
Dr. Mann and Dr. Hatch, the position of class advisor is an important one, and I know you know that. I'm sure the class of 2025 will benefit greatly from your guidance, and I'm excited about tacos in a bag or walking tacos. So glad to have you guys with us. Thank you for your service to our students, and I would now like to ask Teal to come back up to the podium and lead the students in reciting the Pledge of Professionalism.
Students, please rise and join me in reciting the pledge, which is on the screen above. Are you ready? As a student of RC, I believe there is a need to build and reinforce a professional identity founded on integrity, ethical behavior, and honor. This development, a vital process in my education, will help to ensure that I have a true professional relationship with the student. As I become a member of the pharmacy community, integrity must be an essential part of my everyday life. Practice pharmacy with honesty and commitment to service. To accomplish this goal of professional development, I, as a student of pharmacy, should develop a sense of loyalty and duty to the profession of pharmacy by being a builder of community, one able and willing to contribute to the well-being of others, and one who enthusiastically accepts the responsibility and accountability for membership in the profession. Foster professional competency through lifelong learning, I must strive for high ideals, teamwork, and unity within the profession in order to provide optimal patient care. Support my colleagues by actively encouraging profession of the Maimonides and a code of ethics as set forth by my profession. Incorporate into my life and practice dedication to excellence. This will require an ongoing reassessment of personal and professional values, maintain high ideals, professional attributes to ensure that facilitate the caregiver. The profession of pharmacy is one that demands adherence to a set of rigid ethical standards. These high ideals are ensure quality of care extended to the patients I serve. As a pharmacist, it does not start with graduation, rather it begins with my membership in the professional college community. Therefore, I will strive to uphold these standards as I contribute. Great job. SIUE, School of Pharmacy, Class of 25, you may be seated.
Class of 2025, welcome to the profession. This is the first of several ceremonies that we will share in May of 2025. We will be back together to celebrate your fitting and commencement. These next 4 years will move by very quickly. Pay attention in class and get the most of what you can out of the experience. At this point, I would like to ask the D1 students to stand. Go ahead and turn around and face the audience. Students, your families and friends are here tonight to help you accept the responsibilities that are stated in the Pledge of Professionalism. Undoubtedly, they have watched as you have worked hard to earn your place here at the SIUE School of Pharmacy. If you would take a minute to show your appreciation for the support of your family and friends, that would be wonderful. It is now my honor to officially present the SIUE School of Pharmacy Class of 2025. Speaking on behalf of the faculty and staff, please know we are all inspired by your enthusiasm for your profession of pharmacy and look forward to accompanying you on your journey towards the Doctor of Pharmacy degree. Students, please remain standing and turn to face the podium. In a moment, Dr. Pryor will lead the faculty out. Then, after the faculty have exited, Dr. Kwan will lead you into the ballroom B, where we will take your class photo. The platform party will please join for the photography in the ballroom B. And we would ask that guests please refrain from taking photos until our photographer from campus has completed the official photo. He will let you know when it's okay to take personal photographs. At this time, I would like to thank all of you for joining us and all of those that are here online, and have a safe night and travels back home.